Just got done building this 2-foot by 8-foot workbench. Doubles as an outfeed table for my table saw and router. I've already used it for that. If you want the plans for this, let me know in the comments and I can provide those. But yeah, stick around and I'll show you how I did it. Getting all my materials into my shop. I can't tell you what a luxury this is living in Alaska. Setting up this miter saw, that's going to be another one of my projects to get a good miter saw station, but this is what I got for now. 2x4s I'm using for the legs. Need 8 of those total. Tailgate for the truck makes a great table too. I got all my 2x4s cut up. I have some 2x6s to cut too. First coffee. I use these clamps. These are corner clamps that I got off Amazon. It took me a while to get used to them, but now that I'm used to them, I really like them. It squares things up nicely. I'm just doing butt joints and countersinking these screws in. I'm not too concerned about the looks. It's just a piece of shop furniture. Now I'm going to set this up like I would a wall. Just mark where the studs are going to go, like you would in a normal framing. Make sure everything's squared up using a speed square. And just countersinking and putting in 3-inch screws. Carson's trying to tell me something here. Something about the plywood being too long. Yeah, didn't cross cut it at all, so it needs to be 93. So let me go cut that. I don't have a track saw, so this is how I do it. I know it's 1.25 inches distance from my blade guard to my blades. Now I've got 93 inches. Square everything up. And on this one, I've got pocket hole screws. No screws on the top. I should have done it the other way around. The bottom one you'll see I go in from the top, and that's the one that actually shows. This one is underneath the drawer, so you'll never see the screws, so not really needed here. That works really well. So this is the bottom shelf. And I'm marking where the screws are going to go. These will be shown, so I want them to be in at least a halfway decent line. Comes the legs. Going to attach those right where they stand. Using 3-inch screws again. These are my spacers to help me set this next level up. But I actually leave them in. I like them. The original plan wasn't to leave them in and put some center supports in, but I decided to leave those in and take the center supports out. Plenty strong enough. 3-inch screws again. Get it tipped over. Put the caster wheels on now. I didn't like how that fit, so I brought in some scraps you'll see here in a second. Screwed those in. and then took some small lags that I had and put the caster wheels in. Tipping it over was kind of tricky. I used this 2x6 to help me. This is a 2x6 that goes in the back. Using pocket hole screws all the way down. This worked out pretty well. Screwed it into the legs. Again with the 3-inch screws, and then the pocket holes all the way down the back. So this design has changed several times. I have 3/4 inch plywood here on this shelf. The original design was just going to be an open shelf here. Now I'm going to put drawers in. And in the original design, this was 1/2 inch. I just happened to have 3/4 inch lying around. I had to account for that with measurements. These 2x4s, design as you go, I guess. Certainly is going to be sturdy. So here's the 1/2 inch spacers. Setting up my pocket hole drill bit. Some 1x6 that I had lying around the shop. Use those as dividers for the drawers. And a pocket hole them into the back and then onto the bottom. Using my squaring clamps again. Those are really solid. Glad how that turned out. Putting the drawer slides on. I used a 2x4 to make sure everything was spaced off the deck correctly. So I ripped some 1/2 inch plywood to 5 inches. Those would be the sides and front of my drawer. Using the bed of my truck for an outfeed table. Pocket hole screws. This is the first time I built drawers with pocket hole screws. I really like how it came out. There's the fronts and backs. Using that corner clamp again. That's why I put 3 holes in there. Get 2 screws in and then take off the clamp and put the 3rd one in. It worked out well. Making sure it's square. Thumbs up. Now this is the part where I cut a panel to match this exactly. I think it's a hard way to do it. I just happen to have 3/4 plywood laying around, so I might have considered 1/4 inch and just matching it to the drawer, but this is what I had. Put this 1/4 inch plywood in to raise it off the bottom. The drawer slides in. Don't forget to take out that 1/4 inch plywood. It's always a little rocky the first time you push it in. Setting up another drawer, making sure they're all exactly the same. And you notice on this one, I didn't use the adjusting hole for the drawer guide. I did on a couple others, and makes it a lot easier if you need to make adjustments. Keep forgetting this thing's on wheels. So the drawer fronts, it's a round over bit. Clean them up a little bit. I'm going to drill them in from the back. And then the handles, you'll see the handles that I put on here will clamp it down to the face really nicely. Okay, it's time to put the top on now. I got this 3/4 inch plywood I want to put on the top, and I had designed the thing to be 8 foot exactly. And of course, like all dimensional lumber and plywood, this is 96.5. I'm going to use that to my advantage and overhang 1/4 inch on each side. Gives me more room to clamp things down. So I'm going to use 2 sheets of 3/4 plywood. I'm going to screw it down to the top, and then I'm going to take that one and screw it from the bottom. I use all screws. I don't want to use glue because I want to make it easy for me to take that top piece off in case it gets too dinged up. Okay, I have a line marked where I want all the screws. Doesn't really matter on this one. It's not going to be seen. This is a mark where the dividers for the drawers are. I'm going to screw it down to those. I want to make sure I hit those, so I'm trying to be as careful as I can. Okay, the final top, and I actually drilled in from the bottom on all 4 sides, so didn't have that on camera. As you can see, I'm finishing this up with a coat of Danish oil on top. I'll bring in some paste wax tomorrow and finish it off. Should make it nice and slick for an outfeed table. Put my drawer pulls on tomorrow, and I should be done with this thing. Watch that oil over there. Oh, now you've done it. Ooh. Oh. I have to bleep a lot of that out. So I decided to trim it out a little bit. Just tacked it on one end. Made sure everything was going to be flush. Marked it, cut it. Corners came out okay. Put it through the round over bit. Yeah, I screwed that up, but it's shop furniture. Yeah, I can't have anything over the top or to hang up as an outfeed. These drill bits come in real handy when you're putting on these door handles or hinges or whatever. Ordered those off Amazon. You see these, put the drawer face securely in the middle. Yeah, I really like those drill bits. Those come in handy. Some paste wax on it. Try not to get it on the side. I haven't just decided what I'm going to do with the trim yet. Workbench is complete, minus one lost drawer pull. Let me know if you want the plans. I can always post my SketchUp or PDF files.